In this activity called Spell and Swap Letter Tiles, the students will practice reading and spelling words using letter tiles. The tiles come on one sheet along with a word box to help practice the different skill that's being taught. And the adult, either the teacher or the parent, is using the words in the word box to ask the student to either practice the reading component or practice the spelling component. And there are a few different ways you can do this. One of the ways is by providing the word to the student and asking the student to spell. So for instance, if we look at the word box, the first word on the list is pin. So the parent would say to the student, spell pin. And then the student would have to pull p, I, n. So when they're doing this, they're practicing a skill called encoding, which means they're starting with the sound and then finding the letter that goes with that sound. And then the student would read the word pin. Then the parent could ask them to change pin to pan. And then they have to think about what sound is changing, p, in, p, an, and then go ahead and manipulate. And then spell pan, and then read pan. So when you're doing this, you're really practicing going from the sound to the letter. Now, if you wanted to practice the reverse order, really where you're asking the students to practice that decoding or starting with the letter and going to the sound, you would just do it slightly differently. So let's say we start with the word pan. And then we would tell the student, we would use the letter name. We would say, change the P to a T. And then the student would move the P away, put the T there. Now the student has to decode the word. They have to read it and blend it. An, tan. And then you would just ask them to do something different. You would tell, again, with the letter, change the A to an I. And then the student would go ahead and change the A to an I, and then read the word, tin. So when you're giving the student the letter names, you're actually asking the student to decode the word. So in this way, you can use these tiles to help reinforce reading and also reinforce spelling.